Will UK property prices boom or bust in 2025? And what should your property investing strategy be? That's all coming up, but if you want to stay successful in property in 2025, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you're updated when we post new videos. So prediction time. What's going to happen in to property prices in 2025 and what should your investing strategy be? Well, let's start by looking at 2024. Prices rose nationally by 1.2%. The house price average end of the year at £268,000. Now, whoopee, you might say, house prices are up. Well, actually, yes, they're up 1.2, but in real terms, have house prices increased at all? Inflation is running far higher than that. And what this actually is in real terms is a house price fall. So house prices have actually fallen in real terms in 2024 because the rate of increase has undershot the rate of inflation. So what's going to happen in 2025? Well, the government's Office for Budget Responsibility predicts 1.1% growth in 2025 with a pretty subdued level of growth being round about that level every year until 2029. What do I think? Well, I broadly agree. I think there will be growth, but it will be under the rate of inflation. So that means that if that continues until 2029, in real terms, property prices are falling. It's not a crash like we've seen in the past, where prices go off a cliff edge, but it's more of a slow crash. Now, I'm going to come on to the strategies you need to follow later on in this video, so stay tuned. But there's some real factors which contribute to a rather lackluster, meagre growth in 2025. Now, affordability, as you can see in this graph, remains a big factor. The long-term house price affordability has been 4.5 times average earnings, but we are still ranking quite the way above there. But I don't think this graph really shows the true picture of house price affordability. And the main reason for that is that I'm not convinced that the inflation figures, the way they're measured, actually represents real inflation. And also, income tax thresholds have remained frozen over many, many years. And that is the rate at which people start to pay 40% tax and 45% tax. So although there has been some modest wage growth, it hasn't really been enough to counteract the fact that the income tax thresholds have been frozen, and that is severely affecting the affordability of properties, particularly in higher value areas such as the southeast of England. Now, it doesn't help, of course, that interest rates are going to stay higher for longer as a result of Rachel Thieves's disastrous October budget, which basically shoved on lots of taxes onto employers, which feeds into everything else through inflation. And because it feeds into inflation, it means that the Bank of England do not have the headroom to cut interest rates as much as they would have wanted to or were thinking of doing early on in the year. So interest rates will stay higher. That will affect affordability as well and prices into 2025. Now, the housing market is a little bit seasonal. We normally see a spring bounce after the winter, but we have a bit of a cliff edge moment towards the end of March. And that cliff edge is all to do with stamp duty thresholds. Now, the Tories brought in they basically raised SDLT thresholds for a period which expires in March 2025. So there will be a lot of people rushing in, particularly first-time buyers, rushing in to get their house purchases completed before 31st of March 2025, before the new stamp duty thresholds get increased, which will, of course, add to the cost of purchasing a property. So what are we going to see? We're going to see a little bit of that spring bounce, but also in that spring bounce are going to be a whole bunch of transactions that have been brought forward to take into account the SDLT regime, which of course changes from 1st of April. From 1st of April, it's likely to go subdued again. Now, if you're in it for the long term, which you should be, then UK property is a good long-term investment. But over the next few years, you're likely to see relatively subdued growth. But often the periods of subdued growth are followed by periods of boom, boom, boom when it all catches up. But when you're investing in property, you've got to make the asset pay. When you are in boom, boom, boom periods, then you can rely on capital appreciation and a little bit of remortgaging to release some capital within just a few years. You won't really be able to rely on that over the next few years. What you're going to have to rely on to make money from property are basically these things. Number one will be to buy well. Buy from motivated sellers, buy below market value, buy property that you can add value to. That might be through renovations, that might be through perhaps extensions, modifications, or in the case of commercial property, through change of use. And when you're buying investment property, short-term capital appreciation is not going to be there. You've got to make sure it pays through cash flow. So rental strategies which optimize your cash flow will be the ones to favor. With residential buy-to-let, you're really looking at HMOs as opposed to single-family buy-to-let. With commercial property, you're looking at what I call CMOs, commercial buildings in multiple occupation, which comprise either of multiple commercial units under one rooftop or a mix of residential commercial units under one rooftop. But the key to driving cash flow is that multi-unit approach. Within one freehold, you've got multiple rental units. That gives you higher cash flow, which gives you the return that you need for buying the asset in the first place. And the final thing I'll say about 2025 and investing is that knowledge is going to be absolutely key. You see, when the market is going boom, 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 anyone can make money. You can buy practically any property, and it doesn't matter if you get it wrong even. The rising market will save your ass, quite frankly, and give you a return. Now, when the market is not rising, when natural momentum in the market is at less than the rate of inflation, then the way you make money out of a property is all down to you. It's all down to your knowledge and your skill and your vision for what you want to make that property be. So what you've got to do is see property and educate yourself to see property in a different light. Not what you're buying, but what that property can be in terms of renovated value and also the cash flow that you can generate from that unit. Because you can't rely on natural capital appreciation for the next 4 or 5 years for that return. So that's what I have to say on this video. If you're liking this, smash that like button. Let me know what you think about prices during 2025 and also beyond. The Baker Street Property Meet is the UK's largest and #1 property investors networking event. The property market is going through monumental change right now, and at Baker Street Property Meet we aim to keep you up to date with the latest tips and tricks and insider tactics to help you keep on top of your property investing game and succeed in these troubled economic times. The Baker Street Property Meet is fundamentally about networking, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And at Baker Street we aim to connect you with the people to make your property journey a monumental success. There's no better place to be to further your property investment journey than the Baker Street Property Meet. So make sure you're here, you're connecting with myself and Andrew Roberts, our expert guest speakers and 300 passionate property people each and every month. See you at the next meet. Get your spot at bakerstreetpropertymeet.com.